I can just tell you, so we're currently looking at non-Decklists, I see. But I can just tell you how the semi-final went, if you want to.
That sounds good. I don't know why I'm looking at Mayamon right now. No offense, Mayamon.
We always like to look at Mayamon decks, you know?
We do like looking at Mayamon. There we go. And now it's Gravesh. We're in.
Okay. Now it's Gravesh, but I'll tell you a little bit about how Gravesh got here before we dive into the decks, shall we? So, Gravesh was facing Tupoi in the semifinals, and Gravesh won 3-1.
Nice.
He also didn't get to play his monsters, and he chose to bring Northern Realms on blue.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So that's just how it went for Gravesh in the semifinals. Do you care to tell us what he's bringing then?
Yes, so he has started things off, and it's off the books. Gravesh not messing around here. He has gone off the books, and there is a huge tinge of Firesworn. I absolutely love to see it. This is Swarm heavy. It is running Siggy Mastermind, but I see no sign of collusion. It has all of the power of your typical tribute archetypes there with King of Beggars. Lots of different ways to get those tributes in this list, whether it is Jacques, whether it is those shady vendors, Salamandra Mages, Morilsi, there's so much. It is an interesting choice for Gravesh. It's done well for him so far. I have not seen too many people pick up off the books recently, but I am delighted with this choice from Gravesh. It shows you that there are a lot more viable options in the right hands than perhaps we're led to believe.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm really interested to see this. But what we don't get to see is the Dagon promised and then always banned. So
Very
we don't
true.
really need to have a look at the monster deck. Instead, let's see the Nilfgaard. Gravesh's favorite card, also the featured card, is the
Gravesh, no.
your favorite card ever. But yeah, it's Young Calvate. Very similar to what we've just seen in a way. Some flanking, some differences, yeah.
It's very, very similar to Danarai's list, but it's a little bit different, as you pointed out. You've got the Erendite in there because it thinks, it's a tempo list, kind of highlighting for us he feels it's a blue coin list instead of that yen. So there's no yen in here, and instead he's downgraded to just one Alba Armored Cavalry and has gone with Erendite. We've seen how we know how good Erendite is. I don't need to explain to you all how crazy that can be if you can keep your tempo up. And oh boy, can this list keep its tempo up.
Yep, that will be interesting to see. And the last thing is the Northern Pincer maneuver that we didn't get to see in the last series, and it looks quite similar because it's rent-free Traveling Priestess.
It is. Now, this is also blue coin. The curse scroll kind of gives it away typically. I have played a lot of this, and I played a lot of it on patch day. This deck is Traveling Priestess through and through, as you said, but it does pair its abilities off now with not just the Tridam Infantry, but with those on-ears. For just board wipe Gatling gun effect. It is built and designed so that it can go all the way down to just 3 cards in round 3. Vernon Roach then gives you 2 of them simultaneously, and you want those to be your priestesses. The 3rd card you're aiming for from your Renfrey to be able to grab from one of those curses. It is terrifying how many points that this list has, but the one thing that you have to bear in mind with it, those Traveling Priestesses need to find a way to be buffed, because of course they do not have Zeal unless they do. You are relying on Istrid to do that in this list. Now, with the leader abilities, Istrid, no problem. You draw them and you mulligan them away and it's fine, but it's just one extra thing to think about. As I say, this list thins super well. The Rune Mage is in there to give you a much higher chance for that Renfrey, but Sunset Wanderers thins. Hubert Wrecked thins. You've then got the Snowdrop and Istrid Shuffle. Renfrey's Gang thins. The Redanian Secret Service gets thinned by your own Siege Tower, and there are 2 Siege Masters with a Strays of Sparla to boot. It is a scary list. This one might be the scariest that I've played this season. It feels spicy.
And yet, surprisingly, it wasn't banned for the Gravesh. Instead, Dagon was banned.
Yes.
So, interesting to see. And I'm excited to get to watch how Traveling Priestesses go. We have 10 minutes before those matches start. Will you please take us through Danirai's decks once again before we go into it?
I will happily take us through that. If you want to quickly grab a drink or anything, you're more than welcome to for a second. So, Danirai just lost 3-1 to Puzzle Express, but it is not over for our would-be champion just yet. And no matter what happens here today, I firmly think that I will see Danirai at World Masters. Here are the lists that he is trying to get through with. Patricidal Fury, Skellige. I think I remember Arya saying it was banned, but I'm going to go through it anyway just in case. It is Svalblood. It is Self-Wound, the Care Trolled for all that clashing goodness, with Olgierd Immortal as well. This list is a powerhouse. We've seen it played on both coins situationally. I like it on blue personally, but it's a menace. There's no other way to put it. This list is a menace. Svalblood is just yeeting everything around it. So huge points at the end. You're pairing the Svalblood totems and all of that self-wound goodness. It can be a really, really awkward list to try and get your way through. We've seen it twice already, 3 times already today, technically. Looks like I think we're going to see it a 4th as well, because I actually
we are not, because that is banned.
No, that is banned. Okay, that is banned. The Skellige is banned. All right, Skellige is banned. We're not going to see it again. Never mind. But Imperial Formation. As I mentioned, there are a few tweaks between the two players' Imperial Formation lists. We saw Gravesh's version. He is running the Erendite in place of Yen. There is no Yen there, but both players have Vilgefortz, both players have Drahern, and you know what? They deserve each other. It's the best way I can put it. But no, the Erendite here obviously is there for Gravesh. Instead, for Danirai, Yen's Invocation. It wasn't quite enough in the previous series, but in that mirror, and a direct mirror between the two of them, we could see like 10 on, for all I know. There will be that many. It's all about the flanking engines. Imperial Marine is so valuable. It's so many points. And of course, that Nausicaa Sergeant, pairing it with the Slave Drivers, while both of them might just run the one Nausicaa Sergeant, I guarantee you're going to see 4 or 5 from each player, just because that's the way it goes with this list. And then finally, it is... No, not finally. We've got Blood Money. Now, we didn't get to see the Blood Money list last time out from Danirai, right?
Correct, yeah.
It is a little bit different from the one that Puzzle brought. Similar in theory, and this one is a lot closer to the version that was around previously. But, as we mentioned, Vivaldi Bank cannot be here anymore, which means missing that Golden Necker is a serious problem. You have no guaranteed tutors for it. Fisher King can put something on top, but what if you don't find it till the wrong moment? It is also bounty crossed with the poison package. It is the traditional, the older version. Ixora is there, but there is no defender to potentially protect her. And all of those bounties that the Witch Hunter Executioners managed to get through, and that freak show, of course, building up a big old Ignatius Hail for that potential short round slam. Also runs Kolkstein, which in this meta could legitimately be great for those purifiers, could end up being powerful. In this series, not so much, but still.
Yeah, we don't sadly get to see Kolkstein that much. I really love the character in Witcher 1, honestly.
Yes.
And it's always nice to see characters from that game in Gwent, because they're not that common, and they always are amazing, like Siegfried. Also, we don't get to see them at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, have we ever looked at Scoia'tael from Danirai yet?
No, we haven't, but would you like to do that while I quickly run?
I would love to do that,
I thought so.
Okay, so we already seen this deck from Danirai, but let's just have a look at it once again. So, it is technically a brick city, like we like to call it, but we have Vanadane to help fix that. And basically, what you're aiming to do is to get as many relays as possible. Not really. You're aiming to get 5 of them, and once you get them, you bring them all back with Simlas. That's your biggest plan, ideally. We've seen it go not so well for Danirai here, and then you can play around it, and you could use Simlas to bring backup plans as your backup plan if you really need to. Otherwise, the deck, has a lot of removal with the leader. The Curse of Corruption, the Heat Wave. Danirai was ready to answer a lot of engines, and we'll see how that goes for him against Gravesh. I think Telly being there is a nice addition with the other elves as well, and obviously the stratagem, if you're going on blue coin with this deck, could mean that you're able to proc the entire scenario basically in one go, which sometimes can be very useful to get ahead and get a lot of points in.
It can.
No time. And we're already on the spinning card. Spin,
we are. So I will put us from our view over to the spinning card, because this second, the lower bracket final, winner last chance today to make it to World Masters. This time, though, it is Gravesh. And I thought, I knew I'd misheard you. I thought you said that, I didn't think it was the same band.
What?
So, I've got the wrong deck band. There we go.
I see.
No problem, don't worry. It is all in and on now. There is no Skellige for Danirai.
Yeah,
and
no Skellige for Danirai and no
Gravesh.
monsters for Gravesh, yeah.
That's the one. And these two players should know each other quite well from over the years, sharing a team at some stage, I think, in TLG once upon a time. It's also great to see Gravesh playing. Always liked Gravesh, an absolute gent every time I've spoken to him. To be fair, true of Danirai as well, albeit he did go on his villain arc in the last in one of the tournaments.
And I loved it. I am here for it. I think
Gwent, he's genuinely a great guy.
It's a little bit of spice,
Yeah. And he's a lovely guy. Genuinely, every time I've spoken to him, he's been wonderful. A little bit of character acting doesn't hurt for the drama, right?
Oh yeah, I think it's nice to see, people enjoying the tournament and providing a spectacle almost for the viewers, right?
Yeah, for sure. It is a curious set of bands. Honestly, looking at the Deathwish ban, Dagon Deathwish can and has been brought by every player who brought monsters. The list is very underrated right now, I think, by a lot of players. Not in the 2600 plus bracket, clearly, because it can be... It can deal with a lot of the very meta lists on its coin, and it can be very, very problematic. The amount of tempo it can jam early in that first round, the amount of points it can force in that second, it is just a powerhouse of a list, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And it's just... it's problematic, to say the least. It's surprising in one form, because the Nilfgaard list has taken more than 50% of bans in the tournament. But in another, they kind of feel that they can deal with the mirror of it, right?
Yeah, I'm just looking. So Danirai will bring Nilfgaard, Syndicate, or Scoia'tael, right?
Yeah.
And Gravesh has Syndicate, Nilfgaard, or Northern. So we could see quite a lot of mirrors again.
Yes.
Not completely the same things. The Syndicate versus Syndicate could be interesting. Nilfgaard, those decks are slightly different, so it could be fun to observe.
Yeah, it could be. Well, it will be, I hope. It's the off-the-books I'm most excited for, honestly.
Yeah.
Getting to see, off-the-books, effectively mid-range Fire Swarm with removal. Amazing.
And we're 1 minute away from starting. We have no visual bug this time, just so you know.
No
so
visual
that
bug.
Should be tournament client behaving for the first and last time ever, but hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
Any tips on what the players could be bringing for the first game?
Let's take a look. I'm just giving people 1 minute to have a prediction. Who wins the series?
Oh yeah, amazing. Remember that Gravesh is going on blue.
Okay, so if Gravesh is on blue here, starting off, that pincer maneuver list is looking mighty, mighty appealing to me as a choice. I would want that on blue every day of the week and twice on Sunday. He's gone for the extra cursed scroll.
And
I
it's
think
Sunday.
Yeah, it is, in fact, Sunday. His off the books list, also very happy on blue. So is his Imperial formation. He has his pick here, to be completely honest, for Gravesh. Because the Erendite list, the Imperial formation, he might... Oh, you know what? I'm not going to try and guess. Why bother? He's in. He's live. I was going to say Nilfgaard. I was going to say Nilfgaard in the end. But he treats us. Let's go.
Oh, to Syndicate Mirror.
A
Wow.
Syndicate Mirror. Now, he could have decided to take this path because he has access to poison and he believes Danirai is going to bring this list. This is not the best for Danirai because he is running self-poison. As a result, the poisons available to Gravesh, who is on the bottom of the screen, I'm not going to call him Babsy Boing Boing. I absolutely refuse. Yes. But let's look at the hands for both players, shall we? No Golden Necker as of yet for Danirai. No way of drawing it ever if he doesn't find it organically.
So, and meanwhile, you said that Gravesh's Syndicate is a little bit different with a lot of Firesworn. Is that correct?
It is, yeah. It's Tributes and Firesworn. It is very... It's a great matchup, honestly, for this list. It really is.
So yeah, and in case anybody's confused, Babsy Boing Boing is indeed Gravesh. Just so
It is.
Yeah.
Now, for Gravesh, he has a couple of choices here, because he knows that can be removed in a turn, and he does have the Kolkstein. But do you want to give the Kolkstein so early? I'm inclined to say probably not, but he might decide to. Either way he chooses to spend here, probably, for the extra swarm value. It just depends on how early he wants to start denying some of those bounties. It's a difficult question. I think you'd probably let that one slide, but it's a lot of tempo on blue to be switching. And he doesn't. He says no. Kolkstein. Now you've got to deal with Kolkstein instead.
Yeah, because looking at the deck that Danirai is bringing, that is a lot of things you possibly want to purify. You know, bounty, poison, Siri, all of these things you ideally don't want around.
Yeah.
And we'll see how long Kolkstein stays around.
We will. I don't think it'll be very long, if I'm being completely honest. Decides not to kill the tunnel drill here. Had the option with that junior to just flat up remove it. Instead says, you know what? No problem. I'm going to let you spend another turn of your drill dealing with this instead.
That's okay. Which, as we discussed, Kolkstein seemed like such a big commitment, yet it's gone quite quickly. But then, I guess that's...
Yeah, on blue, it could be Gravesh's decision at 7 cards, not losing on even, get away from this right now.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad choice, but with the row that he's currently got and the ability to play some of those priests for full range boost, it's an option. He's decided to continue here, feels like he's got good reach, because the removal value for his opponent, not so amazing, right?
Yeah. So, Tunnel is still around. And I remember once, many moons ago, Tunnel was so scary. Remember that?
It was indeed. You appear to have blurred to 2 pixels. Good. Your camera's decided it doesn't like us. We'll allow it to fix itself. And we will be back. There you go. Beautiful. Much better. Yeah, you're right. Tunnel Drill, and even now, I think the changes to Tunnel Drill, it used to be in the Crown Splitter list where it would just absolutely board wipe as soon as it hit. This version is still super powerful, and in my opinion, much healthier. But make no mistake, it is a powerful card. And there we go. There's the priest we're talking about.
Oh,
he
very
is
nice.
just big value. And Danarai's going to have to start being careful here.
And we see Caleb coming down, removing stuff.
And all of a sudden, it's frozen for me. Bear with us a second.
Frozen for me too. I will try and load up the backup link very quickly. and
Yeah, we're
hopefully
back
talk
with the
you
backup
through
lane,
it.
don't worry. So what just happened there in the interim? They didn't let us know there was going to be an issue, but we are back. As soon as we know we can switch, we will. So we managed to see there the assassin pairing to remove Gravesh now. 5 cards, 10 points down. I know this is 720p. As soon as the other one comes back up, chat, at the end of the game, we'll switch. But yeah, could you just ping and let them know that's gone down for me?
Yeah, I'm dealing with that. So the score right now is 0-0. This is the first. This is the first match. The main link should be fine now.
Okay, well, I'll switch back over in a second.
It is working for me now if you want to switch.
Okay, I'll do it when they change rounds, just so that it's a little bit more consistent. We can see Gravesh dropping more of those priests here, but getting a huge amount out of Danirai in this round. Caleb gone, Drill gone, Ixora on board here. This could be a big time for Gravesh to say, actually, now I'm out. Doesn't have to, though. Junior can deal with Ixora in one swoop. Hit for the 6 and then spend 3 to remove it. It is currently sat there ready to remove a 3 as well. So potentially, and he does take that pass here right now.
So it seems like Gravesh was able to keep quite a lot of the gold cards while Danirai committed. But Siri, of course, being the carryover, is very nice for Danirai here, right?
It is indeed, and I'm just going to go back to the main link now.
Amazing. So we should have a little better quality in just a second. We're just switching over.
Okay, we're back.
And we have the new round.
There we go.
So you didn't lose anything. Don't worry about it.
No, everything is here. Mulligans are going through, and we're back in 1080p. Very fancy.
Amazing. Amazing.
Okay, so we did see the carryover dropped. Really nice. Danirai up against it the whole time, but was always aware of his reach. What he's chosen to give so far is the scary point. Still no golden necker for him. And he's going to have to mulligan viciously to find it at the risk of bricking it potentially. But while he gave some powerful cards, you can see, well, that brute is looking pretty strong at 17 out of 18 power already.
Yep. Meanwhile, what about Gravesh? He has only Miss Jock. Otherwise, all the gold cards are with Gravesh.
He doesn't want all the gold cards. He does not want one of those cards in particular is going to give some information because the tributes aren't going to be free if that's in hand. And the second that Danirai sees those coins not come back, if he's completely paying attention to it, he will know the brick exists and he will push and push hard.
Yeah, because otherwise Gravesh would like to be out of here pretty quickly and fix that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, Danirai going to keep going. He's looking for a pass here to keep his card. Giving that says to me, let me get out of here.
Yeah.
Big choice as to whether or not that's going to be something that we see Gravesh go, okay, it's actually good for me to get out of here right now. Because he thinks he needs to get that golden necker. But all of his cards realistically give away the fact that he has that massive 1 power brick in hand. And it's not just 1 power brick, it's -8 effectively, because he's losing 8 coins while this sits in hand if he tributes. This is a tough spot for Gravesh right now.
So what could we do as Gravesh? How can we get rid of Ignatius?
It's difficult. 2 leaders and Marilsi tribute gets rid of it, but then it also shows your weakness. So he's going to be umming and ahhing right now. And this is interesting, because that doesn't give it away, and it offers a pass. It says, you know what? I didn't have the coins to do it, so it's okay, and I'm saving my leader ability. I'm not giving you the extra bit of information, just that little inkling of doubt. Danirai now has to decide, do I put my foot on the gas here, or do I get out while I can? Because his hand's not great. He doesn't really want to push with that. He just wants to get as much as he can, try and find the golden necker, and have that tempo into that shorter round. Right?
Yeah. And Gravesh being smart about it and not showing the He is also bricked, so possibly Danirai could push him more. It seems like Danirai is thinking about leaving. Because what does he really want to commit here, right? He has no way to put bounties, so that bronze is not really that useful. It's really tough.
Yeah, and he's weighing this up. He's taking every second here. And I think at this stage he probably passes, and he does. And I think Gravesh overall will be very happy with that. Less happy that he has to commit quite a big piece of the puzzle here. He's only down by 7, so Morilsi no tribute is an 8. And there's no other super tall unit that he needs to worry about now. Probably the best option. That's probably what I'm thinking I'd do here.
Yeah.
Junior's the other option, of course.
Junior could be the other option, yeah. The other ones you definitely don't want to commit here, so it will be one or the other for Gravesh right now. And
he's looking at St. Gregory. He's looking at Gregory.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's weighing, and here's the thing, he's taking all of his time because he's looking at his options, he's trying to do the math, he'll be looking through the deck, looking through his opponent's deck, and working out which is the least resistance. What's the least I can give here? He probably made his decision long ago, and it is just Gregory. He plays it for the 11 and the carryover, crucially, to take the coins. He's decided that keeping his removal options is more valuable.
Okay.
Without last saying against poison, that might end up being the sharp decision. We will find out.
So we get the Jacques here, and we need to fix the hand, and we do. Okay. That is looking much better for Gravesh right now.
Yeah, but Danirai finally finds it and doesn't brick it. He will be so happy with that final pull. That is going to be very, very important for him. Didn't draw into the other location, so hasn't got to worry about that. Yeah, so there is still
Necker
one there.
It's not bricked.
No, it's not. That was the big worry. That was, he had to brick, like, effectively mulligan aggressively, hoping that Golden Necker turned up early, and he didn't end up bricking his hand. Has managed to do that. Now, the question is going to be, how's Gravesh going to start this off? Probably just with the Bronze Engine. Probably just
the Bronze Engine seems good.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't think Gravesh missed anything big, and neither did Danirai. So this will be interesting to see how they manage to play around what the other one has.
Yeah.
And the Spender doesn't stay alive for long.
No.
For Gravesh.
No, it doesn't. He does have the Veil, of course, the Spender option with the third stage of Jacques, Devotion Jacques, is there. Can't be poisoned, can't be locked, can't really do much, but he knows his opponent runs Kalkstein, so he can't just, you know, can't just go out on a limb and dump it and throw all of his coins into it. Doesn't work that way.
Because for normally he would have been quite safe. Kalkstein here is a big threat to that. So what can Gravesh really play here? Could be the Shady Vendor.
Could be. He can also consume the token, boost himself up with the other bronze that's named completely escapes me. Yeah, that makes sense, because it'll also respawn that in a turn's time. And not so much that we'll be able to deal with it instantly.
Makes sense, yeah.
This is going to be... All of a sudden now you can feel they've slowed right down. Winning this first match is big for each player.
Yeah. And Gravesh has played quite a lot today, right? And Danirai is coming from a losing series as well. That's also very important. You know, it's
very true.
It can be taxing if you're playing all day and now you're scrambling your way back up to the Masters after losing against Puzzle. While Gravesh just won 3-1. Sorry.
No, he did. You're right. And momentum matters. Momentum matters. Not surprised to see Junior come down and say, no, I'm not giving you that poison. Go away. The only remaining poison access now is if Golden Necker gives it. It will obviously give a guaranteed one from the Salamandra hideout. Will the special also be a Fist Tech? That's going to be the big question.
Yeah, but so that, but Danirai also has the other removal options as well, so that's not the end of the world for him. But do we have any way to do something with the bounty? Looking at Danirai.
Again, only if he finds one.
Yeah.
Only if he can find a bounty from Golden Necker. Has got removal. Teshamutna Sword will hit for 5 and then again per status. Really, you're looking to use that on something like a Jacques in this matchup, I would say. Rather than having to worry about anything else, you're looking to just go bang, get rid of it, another spender off the board. We all know how bad it is for Syndicate, and Syndicate's big weakness, having no spenders. That is where it ends up falling to pieces. So it's where you've got to be the most careful. As now, Gravesh sitting. Of course, he's going to potentially pull one out with his, he'll thin through if he can use his tributes.
Yeah.
And he has got the coin to tribute. The question is he going to press that double leader now and use Marilsi to get rid of this 11? Because I probably would at this point. It's so many points. I'd probably be doing it.
I think that's what's happening here. Yes, we see the Morials come down and deleting that 11. So that Danirai needs to find another way to spend his coin. Because Kendall is already at 5, right? So...
Yeah, Candle's up there at 5. Now another card boosted to 11. It's the Blenheim brother. Not a spender himself, of course, but does give you coins for each poison. Oh! Ooh. He's looked through the list and he's decided, because this tells me Golden Neck is coming next and he wants to not over-profit. He wants something on the board, he wants it to stick, and he doesn't believe there's a way that he doesn't, that he has to worry here.
So we're seeing the Shady Vendor. Okay. Open Sesame, and we take the Mutagen.
Yeah.
Makes sense for Gravesh here, right?
And that's really nice, because he finds the Veil. And, of course, Teshamutna Sword still clears that up. So it's not the end of the world. It's now just going to... No problem. Is he going to use some of that spend here? Is he going to protect that just to 4, or is he going to go to 6? He sits at 4. Is Teshamutna going to be better sore on the spender?
No, instead we see the Golden Necker. But potentially that means that Jacques is quite safe here. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, potentially Gravesh always has that one spender.
And he rolls the double poison. That is huge for him here. He is going to be able to use both of those to remove whatever he likes. And effectively gain all of the coins back, because those poisons are going to give him value. This will self-poison, and he goes for an engine. That is, he's going for the points. Okay. Not trying to remove, because of course it's more of a swarm archetype for Gravesh. He doesn't think he's going to get the same value. Instead, drop this down, keep giving himself the value, keep giving himself the coins.
Okay, well, yeah, that's how it is. So, Danirai is ahead by 11. Gravesh hasn't played Jacques yet at all, and the other Siggy, which could still be quite a lot of points.
Yeah, it could be a lot of points. The question is going to be, because I think to make from here, Gravesh needs somewhere in the region of 35 points to win this. I think. I'm not sure what his Siggy's doing for him. Siggy's the decider. Siggy needs to be playing for something somewhere in the vicinity of 18 to 20 points with his coins.
We're going to see Jacques coming down first, I assume.
Possibly,
yeah. So the Teshamutna has a nice target at the 12, right?
It does.
But Kalkstein, what is Kalkstein doing for Danirai here?
Not a great deal, to be honest. Not a great deal. Oh, the tension. The tension. He plays it, clicks it, and he only boosts it to 7 here. Teshamutna might now be better served on the Jacques. If he deletes both spenders here, which might be what he decides to do, he could Teshamutna one, poison the other, and move it, destroy it.
And that's what he decides to do, yeah. So the 12 sticks around on the board, because that can't be poisoned unless Danirai holds it. But then, no, either way. Yeah, because I was thinking if we purify it, but then it would have only one poison. So the 12 always sticks. Yeah. And now we see Siggy for
leader first.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. And he is not looking too tasty. There is no spenders there, but he does grab a couple of units. Yeah. Plays for the self-poison, but it is not enough. Being able to remove those Yeah. Wow.
Oh well. Sad. So
Well-
sad for Gravesh having no spenders in the end. So Danirai takes that.
He does. Danirai is now 1-0
Yeah.
up.
There we go.
Not bad for Danirai. As
Looking
I will put us
well.
back.
There we go, yep.
Wow. Now,
Upgraded the score.
yes, thank you very much. As we see, Danirai takes the lead for the first time today against Gravesh in a match that I would say, honestly, he's not too favoured in. Yes, his list is far more meta, and he does find that golden necker at a clutch moment. But the amount of potential that Gravesh could have had there, he played it remarkably well. I think he pushed at the right moments. Dropping the spender when I think he was umming and ahhing, do I give Jacques last or second to last? And I think it would having the spenders be removable. Danirai takes the right line, says, I know Syndicate. If it can't spend, it can't win.
Yeah.
Manages to deal with both of them in that single turn. Realistically, the other way around, he probably still can deal with them. But yeah, you've also drifted slightly off to your left. There we go, she's back. She's back. So it's now 1-0. And we know that one of the lists is through. Danirai now flips back to blue coin.
Correct. And Danirai is bringing either the Nilfgaard or the Squirtle.
He does like this Squirtle list on blue. He's brought it there a lot.
Yeah, that could be it. And meanwhile, what can we see from Gravesh? It could be the Syndicate again.
It could.
Right?
I wouldn't be surprised if he brings the Syndicate again, actually. I wouldn't be too surprised at that.
Because the Northern one really wants to be... He has taken the Nilfgaard or Northern on blue before.
Yeah.
So it could be the Syndicate again for Gravesh. That would make quite a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah, that would check out. It would. I could see why he might do that. As you say, the Northern Realms list really wants blue a lot of the time. And the Nilfgaard list, he runs Erendite, which almost always does that. So, yeah. Yeah, and if you're looking to find the bracket or the deck lists for this, it's ! Decklist, and you'll be able to access both. Remember, the last series don't update in there automatically because we do play, or rather, we're casting on a delay, effectively, so that there aren't spoilers. There's an additional bracket that they then play in for this to be the case.
Yeah, because that would be sad if everybody else knew while we were still casting in.
Imagine.
So, yes.
I know.
Yeah.
So there you go. ! Decklist is what you're looking for.
Yeah, that is also the bracket. The bracket that you're using will just tell you to take you to community tournaments, which we have more news about at the end of the casting.
We do,
but
that's right.
Where they are not happening right now. So yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of excitement for our next community tournament.
Indeed,
and
yeah.
The theme, the deck roulette theme, we'll give you some more information about that after this. We're trying to host one a month on average where we can, trying to engage as many people as possible because, well, if you're watching this, you probably like competitive Gwent, and it's fun to take part too, right?
Tournament Gwent is so much fun, and it's a very different experience than leather Gwent, let's be honest, so... Very nice to enjoy that from time to time. Definitely. Meanwhile, we are waiting for game 2, Gravesh versus Danirai. The winner of this goes to Masters Weekend 1. And basically can therefore rest until December. No more, you know.
Yeah. This is a big moment for that player. They can stay involved. They can obviously be a part of the meta, or they can do their practice, but there's going to be a lot of changes between now and the patch they play on. And I think it's not announced officially, but I think the first weekend of Masters, I think might end up being in November. And then the second weekend, the first week of December before a patch. So a long time from now, as the players are prepared and they're in, we're going into game 2.
Let's go.
What have they brought? Let's see.
It's almost there.
If it loads.
Gwent is keeping us on our toes. So,
Come on, Gwent.
I guess. Come on, Gwent.
Okay. Normally this long you'd panic, and we do have a visual bug that we didn't know about. So let me.
Yeah, sorry, we didn't know about that.
Okay.
So we have Danirai going first. No, we have the names though. We just don't have
Oh.
the leaders. It's
We
fine.
do have the
have
leaders too. It's all there. Never mind, it came in.
Yeah.
It is in. We are in and ready to go. Gwent client, I owe you an apology.
Yeah.
And he does bring the Syndicate, again as expected,
yeah.
to face this Nilfgaard menace.
So yeah, we have Danirai with the Nilfgaard flanking hell, I would say.
Oh, and it's the opening play of dreams for Danirai. I absolutely hate this play. And you might be thinking, well, but that card goes on the range row and jumps forward, right? Not necessarily. If it is Zealed, it will just keep locking itself every time it hits you. That is a terrifying option. Like, that now just keeps punching.
Yeah. But of course, you need to keep giving it the armor. That's the only thing, right? Can keep punching as long as it has armor on. And that spender didn't spend much time on the board, right?
It did not. And if you can find that on Blue Coin, it is scary how difficult it is. Because now it's getting 2 points of armor a turn, which is 2 points of damage a turn. That's before you touch your leader ability.
Oh,
It's so difficult to deal with this, to the point where Gravesh is basically out of this round already. He's already saying, you know what? I'm either committing very heavily to lead charges and a Marilsi to delete a 4 provision bronze, or I'm out of here. And that's a scary spot to be in so early.
Yeah, because flanking once it kind of starts going, it's so difficult to stop. So you want to stop it early on, but that means you commit a lot, right?
Exactly. And even worse, with a card like this, let's say you go, oh, I'll play no unit. It's going to keep gaining that armor and become more and more of a problem, not less and less. And again, the card comes down and the card goes goodbye.
And equally, Gravesh doesn't have the Kalkstein now, which would have been amazing to have. But
no sign of that. And it looks to me like Gravesh is just effectively playing the least he can right now. Not committing too much and just playing out some bronzes, trying to get a little bit of coin value and then passing. Because the scary thing for him is, if Danirai now decides to pass, because those engines are going to keep on ticking.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That would be a scary spot.
We have some damage, which gets rid of 1 bronze, doesn't get rid of the main one that we're most afraid of, but...
No, but it's still good. Same value of points per turn, honestly, so it is good to see that removed. That's a pleasant surprise.
But if I'm Gravesh, how much longer do I want to stay in this round, realistically?
I think as long as he can physically stay, he will, but I'd probably be passing now, if I'm being honest. He has the ability to play a couple of other cheap bronzes of his own, but that reach is more and more of a threat. There's 4 points a turn of engine value for his opponent right now as it stands. I would not be playing into that. 16 points down. He needs to find 21 in a turn, and even committing leader ability twice, or committing one of his best gold cards, doesn't catch this up. So for me, I'd be going away here.
And that's probably what Gravesh is looking at as well, unless we see, like you said, one of the cheap bronzes. So, and that's what happens. Yeah. Well,
Fair
again,
enough.
the flanking unit does its thing, removes all the armor, stays there. It's really annoying. We see another lock. That's just what Nilfgaard does the best, right? I feel like Nilfgaard either plays your deck for you, or just doesn't let you have any fun. Yeah,
it either plays your deck or stops you playing it. Either way, you don't get it. That's just Nilfgaard, you know?
What a nice abilities you have here. What a pity you can never play them. Right?
Wouldn't it be a shame if they were our abilities now?
Yeah, that's what Nilfgaard is like. And, Danirai needs to win. And wants to probably, get a head start. So we'll see how that goes for him.
Yeah, and one of the reasons this list is so powerful, ultimately, from Blue Coin, it has the potential to do something like this. The arguable balance is that it can never do it on Red Coin. So, as we do see, he's not going, though. He's still here.
But to be fair, Gravesh is committing cheap bronzes in response to whatever Danirai has.
Yeah.
But
The scary thing for me is just the reach, because he needs 19 right now, 2021, in a single turn. Morils and full tribute is only 13 of that. He does have a spender as well.
okay.
I like this. I was going to say, the risk was always that Danirai passed here. The risk was always a pass from Danirai, because now he's going to have to use the Morils, tribute, get those coins back, use all of those coins and probably a chunk of his leader ability if he wants to get out here. That's a scary proposition. He needs 23 points right now.
Yeah, but if you're not doing that, then you're losing on even against Nilfgaard with Calvate, so that's not what you want either, right?
Oh, it's...
So we see all of the coins being spent, Morils coming down, and now leader as well, just to get ahead. Just like you said.
Yeah.
Now we are 1 point ahead, Gravesh passes. Oof,
yeah, and he did the maths, and honestly, the win in this round could be worth that value. Calvate's been down, he's more in control now. The scary side of it, of course, is the amount that cost. He'd obviously done the calculation. He knew he had the reach, it was just whether he felt that it was worth it or not, you know?
So let's see. Of course, we know what Danirai is taking, because that Calvate has decided that, right?
Yeah, very much.
But Gravesh hand looks very, very bronze.
That is a decidedly bronze-looking hand. Not necessarily the end of the world if you're looking to push for value bleeds, though.
Yeah.
Okay, the Siggy's nice. There is a single brick, again, of course, potentially. That we know the King of Beggars, if it jumps into hand, you're going to be very unhappy.
Let's see if Gravesh manages to avoid it, and he doesn't. It's back again.
I feel like that might be my fault for talking it into existence.
Yeah, you talked to Gravesh will blame you for that.
Flat out, he just passes. He's just like, no, not doing that. I like my chances in the long round. This, however, oh lord.
That's painful.
Traherne just gets rid of Junior effectively. It would have been the next card.
Okay. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Now both of them have the same amount of cards, so we're going back to 10.
Yes.
In round 3. Let's see if Gravesh draws any better.
It's slowly improving for him. Obviously, he gets rid of his guaranteed brick, which is actually really nice. Poisons, decides to mulligan away the second poison in favor of another terrible bronze card. He is missing a good amount of value here.
Let me see.
Too happy with that, honestly.
Yeah, because so Gregor is not there.
Actually, it might just be Gregory at this stage. Thinking about
I'm looking. Yeah, Kalkstein's not there, and that's it. Yeah, because we have Siggy, we have Jacques, Cyrus, we have King of Beggars. It's not there, but that's good. And Junior has been killed.
Yes, he is. He's been removed from existence. Although it is a fair shout. Would you have taken the Junior and removed that if he hadn't bricked the King of Beggars? Potentially, the King of Beggars is worth a lot more value, even though 5 of the tribute are already gone. We'll never know. We'll never know.
Yeah. We'll never know. So yeah, actually, Gravesh's hand's not as horrible as it seems.
Oh, not at all.
He has access to everything, clearly. Apart from the things that are just gone. So yeah.
A lot of good swarm value available to him as well. If he can keep swarming, he reduces the value of things like the heat waves, the yen. The fact that his opponent can yen and then battle stations to play 2 cards, draw 2 cards, means that whatever gets yenned could end up coming back. That's a scary thought.
The one thing I'm worried about is removal for Gravesh. So we have 1 poison, we have the 1 fist deck, right?
Yeah. He's got the... he can grab from...
Shady Vendor we could try
Shady
and
Vendor,
grab.
yeah. And Siggy can grab the poison unit as well. So may well choose to do that. It's a viable option. So he can get 1 poison on the board. It'll be a shame for him that he can't deal with this Nalziga Sergeant now. The Nausicaa Sergeant staying on board opens up so many points of value here when you look at it. Those 2 slave drivers, each of them going to create another and then another.
Yep, it's just another and another and another. So if it stays, it's a lot of trouble. But to be fair, if Nausicaa doesn't stay, then the flanking unit being copied, you can't really choose here against Nilfgaard. So, but we instead see, just more
value,
bronzes,
more engines,
getting more
swarm
profit.
and spawn. He has to be careful that he doesn't play too many units too early, because that is obviously a consideration, something he needs to bear in mind here. On Danarai's side, he is in an awkward spot. He's got lots of gold removal. He's got the Bacalao, which makes sense to play here, honestly. He's just playing for more engine value. But the targets that he has picked could potentially be drawn into his hand. If those targets that he picks are drawn into his hand, as a result, they don't keep boosting anymore, and that is a lot of value. That's 4 points a turn that he's giving away effectively.
Yeah.
So...
And what is the target for battle station here for Danirai?
For the 2 bronzes that he's got, it's just the next 2 cards he'll draw.
The next 2 cards, right? I'm just wondering what is left, but yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I have no idea.
Never mind.
Just Misk bronze cards left for him effectively, but whatever he chooses to yen will also be one of those options, right?
Yes. Which, could be less useful for Danirai though, but never mind. When we get there, we'll see it. Meanwhile, we see the Shady Vendor.
Misses the poison. Does
no
he
poison
have...
there.
He just goes for the value, gets rid... He held on to that charge and has ended up regretting doing so. Is he just going to hold the rest here? He is. He's not spending right now. He's just holding off, not trying to swarm too much, because obviously he's worried about over-swarming with the cards left to him. Both of his golds play 3 cards, effectively. He's already looking short on space.
Yeah, because Jack will add 3 more spaces as well, right? So he can barely fit with all the cards.
In fact, he can't fit right now. If I'm not mistaken, he has not got enough space to play everything in his hand. In fact, he's got 2 units he won't fit right now if he tributes that shark.
True. But you could opt to not tribute it and just have the extra profit, right?
True.
And Danirai is also helping a little bit with the board space problem.
Just a little. And that's coming from Nilfgaard as well, so it's one of the reasons why he's okay. He knows exactly what's in hand. Calvate was played, he knows there's a heat wave, he knows there's a yen. He knows exactly what is sat there, and he's just trying to work out now, why are you holding off on this battle stations? And he'll understand why. He'll know the reason. The fact that there's been enough turns that could have ended up meaning the removal of this Nausicaa Sergeant now probably still won't happen. Okay.
So we're taking it slow, not spending, just playing mostly bronzes. That makes sense for Gravesh.
Yeah.
But Danirai has to either start, copying things with the slave guy, or...
Yeah, I think the yen turn could come now and reduce some of that problem, maybe, so that he can draw into what he's yenning, but there's just nothing worth grabbing, quite frankly.
That's the thing,
for them, right? So it probably is the turn to just do that. He could decide to replay new versions of those engines instead. But with this long left in the round, I don't think that's the play. It just takes the heat wave. Okay, so the Salamandra Mage goes. You might wonder why, but she does have a passive ability that refunds portions of tributes, so is worth it to some extent. Also, just trying to extend the length of his 4-point-turn engine, effectively. Right?
Yeah. So, Gravesh only has that 1 poison, still could get the second one, right? That's still an option.
Yeah, 100%.
So we could be removing one of the tall units that are still on board, technically.
That's what I'm expecting to see, yeah.
Yeah. What else could Gravesh do here?
The Gravesh's options right now, he can play for his own swarm value now, so he can boost the front row, pay the tribute. No, he's just going for the value on the tallest unit and the poison. It kind of makes sense, because he knows that he's not going to be able to remove the Nolziger Sergeant quick enough at this point. 2 or 3 turns ago, it might legitimately have been worth it to drop that poison early. Now, not so much. Because now is the turn where he's just going to play another 2 of them and turn off his own engines, right?
Yeah.
More, another. Or perhaps replay another one of those engines, which is what he's going to do. Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's decided that they're more value. And he might be right. He may well be right here. Than the 8. He's gone for one of each. So. He's gone for one of each.
Makes
Protects
sense.
the other engine. Yeah, I get it. And now he should click all of those to start the engines ticking. That is what he's going to do here.
We're finally clicking the green buttons. You know,
yes,
they've been there all around.
I know that was upsetting you. You're like, why are these buttons not clicked? And you can see he's so many points ahead here. The Gravesh is going to really struggle to find traction to get back.
Yeah. But, you know, Gravesh's off the books list is interesting, but it's definitely a little different than what you normally see from Syndicate.
Yeah.
And it seems to be struggling to get enough points eventually, right?
Yes, but saying that, he's not in a situation where this is actually over yet. He's 24 down, but with a 16-point poison ready to go, effectively. So
quite a few spenders as well.
Yeah, his spenders are available, so he's got the coins to be able to use them. He has unfortunately missed Gregory, one of his biggest options. And I don't believe he can get it from Siggy. So...
and equally, Danirai doesn't really have a good target for Yenvo here.
No, I thought he was going to take the Jacques, honestly. And he's held off on taking the Jacques because he didn't want to give him space in that row to give him extra value, effectively.
So we're now seeing the Bronze Sky boost Priest.
Yeah. Lots
coming
of
down.
points there.
Yeah, lots of points, but equally spread around, so it's not making one unit too tall. Leaving that one poison there, just saying like, oh yeah, you know, I can deal with that later. And is that later going to be now, or are we just playing another priest?
I think the difficulty is he doesn't have board space. This is what he's struggling with. He's only got 2 spaces left on the board. If he chooses to play his... if he chooses to play Siggy, he can't even put all the units down that he needs to. There are too many units on his board, and he's accidentally overswarmed. I think tributing the Jacques, as you pointed out, just a little too far.
Yeah. So could we see a discard then?
He's going to be doing the maths now because he hasn't got enough points to discard. Because I don't think Siggy can do it.
Siggy on the tone probably can't do it, so discarding the priest is risky. Okay. So Cyrus,
and he does do it. Okay, it's the right call. The question now for Danirai is it actually correct to just pass? Is giving the space for the sake of 4 points?
Yeah. Because you can be denying one of the spenders, obviously, right?
And it's Jacques that you want to deny here if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because now this is really... And I haven't done the maths on this, but in terms of his pass, he's got a lot of value anyway on the pass because of his engines are all still ticking. He knows what the last card probably is.
Yeah.
If he denies the Jacques, he's denying 9 points guaranteed spending, right? Whereas the other spenders at the moment can only spend for 2, effectively. Yeah. But does that open up the space?
Is the space Is the open space more than those 9 points?
I think he has to take it.
Okay, let's see.
He discards it. This is okay. Just the 47 points needed here for Gravesh.
But we've seen things with Syndicate before.
Okay, St. Gregory right now could genuinely be enough points.
Okay. We see. Like, Gregory, come on, what are you doing here? Okay, and Danirai with nice, hefty, exactly 100 points. Gregory, what are you up to? No.
Okay, never mind. It's not even close.
No, it's...
Oh, it's so close!
It is close.
Oh.
It's very close, actually.
Wow! Did you know what?
Yeah?
The discard turns out to be the correct decision. In the end, I would think it's fair to say. Ooh. As now, it is 2-0 to Danirai, right? His Nilfgaard list goes through. He's only got to get that Scoia'tael list through.
You spoke too soon. It was indeed very close in the end. Wow. You know?
That was scary.
Yeah.
So, look, it wasn't even close in the end. There wasn't even a minute of doubt in my mind.
So, what are we seeing now is Danirai with the Scoia'tael, correct?
Yeah, Danirai with Scoia'tael, yes, that's the only option he's got left, and Gravesh with whatever he feels like. He's flipped coins again now. I feel like if he wants to try and get a foothold back into this game, he might flip away from this Syndicate deck. He might now switch.
That could be a Northern Realms moment here.
Yeah, the NR list could be really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if the tribute on Jacques made the difference.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you look, Danirai discards Yen and doesn't take the 4, but it wasn't just a 4, it allowed him to spend 9 times. It was a 13. The problem is if he takes that 13, he allows a poison to come out and play for 20, and he would have won. So, if those 2 cards weren't there, sure, he overprofits a little bit, but that extra space guarantees the win. I think if he was expecting more stuff to get removed, I think, and he just had one unit too many. Just one unit too many.
It was really interesting to see the discards. I think it's always, especially in this kind of setting, it's interesting to see that sometimes not playing is the correct option.
Yes.
I don't think many times when you play Gwent on ladder, that's something that crosses your mind, thinking, oh, actually, maybe if I discard, that would be the better option. You don't think that almost ever, right?
No, you definitely don't. But he took the time, he thought about it, you could see, because he knew there were still things he had to do in his own turn as well. But he's doing the maths. He's thinking, okay, if it's this, which is the worst case, which is what it was, I cannot give you the board space to play that extra card. I cannot allow you to have, what you need, the reach, the ability to change the order of this. Really well played from Danirai there, in what you would say is a matchup that he shouldn't know that well. I don't know about you, but I haven't faced off the books recently.
No, really no. Yeah.
It's not like it's something he's faced 1,000 times on ladder, albeit I'm sure he's faced it. But either way, Danirai 2, it is Gravesh 0. Is the reverse sweep on? And have we updated the score command?
I have updated the score command.
Great job. Thank you so much.
We are ready to go in. So we're going to see the Scoia'tael versus... And to be fair, having the Scoia'tael facing the Northern Realms could be tricky because it has removal. It has curse... not curse scroll. Corruption. Sorry. You know what I mean.
Another bug? Because I can hear them.
I will check. Yes, I will reload the backup.
Okay, that's what we'll do then. 2 seconds.
Backup is running something else. Yeah, backup is in. So if you can please reload there.
Okay. And we're here, and it is Northern Realms. I think that's the right call. It is the Northern Realms list that we are seeing.
The main link is now working as well, if you want to switch.
I'll quickly switch back now while we can.
Yeah, and I'll keep you guys updated, So yeah, we have Gravesh on blue with Northern Realms, and Danirai with Scoia'tael. Yep.
Yeah, so far so good. And opens with the Istrid. Interesting choice. Opens straight away with the Istrid here.
Yeah.
Is he then just going to flat up open? Because that Istrid has to survive. He needs that to buff. So is his play just to do that right now? That is a choice.
That is brave, yeah, indeed.
Unless I'm missing something. Yeah, so the first priestess is coming out and she is going to get buffed. No. She is not going to get buffed.
No, we... Okay.
And it survives. Okay. Because denying that can be game-changing. It can be game-winning. If they haven't got Zeal, they can't do anything. And there aren't too many ways this list can give Zeal. It's not running the fake dandelions. It's not running... I mean, Rune Mage can roll into it. Of course it can.
Yeah. But yeah, meanwhile, Danirai just set up the scenario that makes sense. And for Gravesh, we're seeing, you know, siege engines coming down, some thinning happening as well, which is good.
Yeah, very much so.
I'm looking at Danirai's hand, right?
Okay.
We don't have Vanadane or access to it.
Correct. That, which, with the number of bricks in it, is super awkward here. And he doesn't even have a good way to proc this. He's got to give Telianine to proc it now. That does not feel amazing here.
Yeah, because the Cat Witcher Adept is not an elf, right? We could backup plan to get another elf. That could be a way how to do it. We don't have to spend Tele.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what we're gonna see here.
Makes sense.
And meanwhile, Gravesh is just I think that's the scary thing about Northern, right? The amount of things they can commit and how quickly it board vibes. Possibly.
But Telianine straight into the Vanadane says, you know what, don't you worry about it. Because this will now proc very nicely.
I am fixing my hand, don't worry. I'm aware of the Brick City. And I am not afraid of it. Yeah.
And goes aggressive now.
Okay, that makes sense.
It does. Are you at the point... In terms of removal, Radovid obviously is sat there, a card you can use, but you don't want to play him right now. You want to get as much value from that Sunset Wanderers as possible. Getting a Rune Mage down early certainly doesn't hurt. It's not terrible by any means to do that. Instead, he takes the lock and prevents Telianine, already thinning out Hubert for that bit of tempo. That's 10 order abilities, and it's turn 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just surprised that it wasn't Vanadane that was locked, because it can be a lot of point quickly.
It can. Telianine's order ability can be problematic as well, but I think, typically I'd have gone that direction too, because now you're just giving so many extra points.
Yeah, exactly. And we see, you know, Danirai is happy to spend the extra waylay, that's not a problem. And potentially then maybe the Vial, just to get some points happening. Danirai is in a good spot here.
Is he willing to go for the full leader? He does. Okay. He's saying, I want this round and I want you out of it. Pushing and is in a good spot right now to potentially win this on even.
Definitely, yeah. So, Gravesh could, like you've said, set up the Rune Mage here. That still is an option because you don't want to touch Snowdrop or the tower yet. No,
and okay. We drop the Radovid. He is down, but he doesn't mind because he has the reach to be able to play here if he needs to. And he's not in the worst spot in the world. Because the long round, he's fine. If he's got a long round with Last Say, he's just winning this. The aggression from Danirai makes sense simply because of the amount of problems you can face with this list. Even if you manage to wipe everything on the board, if it has Final Say and it managed to play Renfrey, play those 3 cards, you're probably still losing to it.
Makes sense, yeah. Radovid stays alive.
He does, makes it.
And we see Rune Mage.
Don't click that Kingslayer.
No, I can't watch it. I can't watch it.
Don't do it.
No, don't do it.
I don't think it's enough points.
Don't do it.
Oh.
That's karma, you know.
And he doesn't do it. Respectable.
Respectable. Gravesh.
Yeah, from Gravesh there. But he's not ahead right now, bear in mind. He needs to not care at all. Never mind. He's not worried. He knows his opponent's not going anywhere.
Nice trickster.
Yeah. But this is more value.
He knows. Yeah, but I know. I just like the art.
Makes sense. And now the Snowdrop trying to get as much value as possible here.
Setting up the hand as well makes sense.
It does. Hasn't shuffled a single one of those priestesses yet. But now that Renfri's in hand, it becomes a little bit easier to just do all three. While the Istrid is stuck, the entire of this first round here has managed to keep on surviving and buffing everything that shuffles. Is he going to triple leader right now?
Okay.
Oh.
No, it doesn't look like it. I am slightly behind, I think. I'll try to refresh.
No problem. Maybe I'm in the future.
Wow, we're really time traveling today with Gwent, huh?
Checks out. And we're going to be... Oh, wow. So he's going to be shuffling back. The Renfri draws the Renfri's gang.
That's really nice for Gravesh, yeah.
Very. Now we're going to start seeing the leader charges come down. Now he wants to be ahead. Finally shuffling these priestesses in and out. They should now be boosted as well. He'll do it for the second one. Yeah, much better.
So we are just shuffling those away. That's fine. And currently Gravesh is ahead at the end of this turn. Slightly ahead. And Danirai just commits one extra waylay. I think that's one too many waylays from Danirai, right? He's not getting that one back.
He's not getting that one back, no, but he's ahead by so many points here that this all of a sudden looks problematic. Because Danirai now is in a horrible position where he has to give both of those cards to get out no matter what he does. And that's really tough.
Well, you don't have you have two waylays in the deck for Simlas, but you don't have space.
Yeah, and
so Danirai just needs to go. Yeah,
I think I think the right option is to do that. I think the Istrid was left alive way too long, and the amount of carryover value of buff that was left was a little problematic. We shall see now how this plays out because he could just pass for the long round 3. As the Northern Realms player here and just board wipe effectively.
Yeah.
You love to find a priestess that you can just mulligan away. You don't mind that at all.
On the other hand, we're mulliganing the Bronze Elf, getting a Squiller that doesn't have a target here, right?
No, it doesn't. Not anything of value anyway, as we see more shuffles and shuffles and shuffles.
And we see Arcane Tome bringing most likely the Oneiromancy to get it guaranteed for round 3. That makes sense for Danirai. Set it up.
Now you got the Alyssa. And you are ahead with that Alyssa as well. So he is going to have the 4 waylays. The bleed here is curious. Because he's just looking for pure value. Gets double on here. Okay, not really what you're looking for. You were looking for those priestesses.
Yeah.
He can lead a charge once more, and then Renfri, 7 and 5 charges respectively on each of them. He will manage to thin down to 0 if he finds the right choice, with Renfri and Rune Mage's already dropped in.
And I just realized as well, for Danirai, the Arcane Tome is very nice here as it's super safe, because this being Renfri, you're not worried, right?
Yeah,
Gravesh does not benefit from it.
No, he doesn't benefit at all. And better yet, not only does he not benefit, he couldn't overthin with it, even if he could click it. Now, we see, obviously, Red's deciding he's just the squirrel. That doesn't matter too much. But we see the pass. This, I think we're about to see the wonders that are the canon of priestesses. But we'll see.
We'll see.
It depends on what Renfri drops. But with Last Say, having guaranteed Vernon Roach, even if you only pull 2 of 3 of them, has the double Onia. If one of those Onias can survive through effectively, and I think, never mind, he's got to hold them both.
Brave mulligan by Danirai, but we did not get any of the waylays. We have the heat wave. What did Danirai miss?
Not a lot. I don't think he missed anything. I don't think he's missed anything.
Just checking quickly. Yeah, the Curse of Corruption is in the deck. Gord is not here.
Oh,
by the way.
Yeah. Now, what does he grab? We can't see these.
Yeah, we said. We can't see what he grabs until later.
spawn a base copy of an enemy unit. The damage is good. Play a bronze unit from your hand, then look at the top 3 and draw. Curse of Sloth is great because it guarantees that he can play the extra. Yeah, I think he got rid of Curse of Corruption as well because he knows there's not going to be anything to play.
Yeah, he did. So that could, on Aromancy could bring Gord. Then.
Envy could be very good against Simless. I don't know if that's what he's taken. Damage all. Is it?
Okay.
There it was. See. He's already got it. He's already got the one he wants. After using. Oh.
We have play a bronze unit and look at the 3, and then set the lowest power allied to 10. Yeah, that's
the
what
only
we got.
problem with lowest powered allied to 10.
Wait.
Might not have a lowest powered allied.
We're seeing very early Gord.
Makes sense. He's trying to.
We didn't want
to remove as much as possible.
Yeah.
So he'll heatwave the Onia now.
Pink friend free, heatwave the Onia, keep the Simlas as last, kinda, right?
Yeah. Simless will then clear up the second Onia, but it's just not going to be. It's going to be close, but I don't think it's going to be enough because they're going to be able to play the Tridam and the 2 of them.
No, it's the Simlas.
I suppose potato, because he can guarantee the removal of the other, right? Just trying to maximize the value now on the Simless.
Yeah, but then we lost the value on the elf here. But see the second Onia, that's gonna get heat waved, and again, no value for the elf. It seems. We'll see, or maybe it's the.
And he gives the leader ability now to try and get as much value as possible.
Yeah. And then the second, so it's the second priestess that's coming down.
I think it's 7, maybe 10 charges on that priestess. You can see, like the heat wave technically swings it back because you heat wave the 13, but you know the other card, you know what's coming, and unfortunately that priestess on its own before being clicked is another 18 points as we see Gravesh brings himself back into contention here.
So we're possibly seeing a reverse sweep. This is now 2-1. Danirai with Gravesh. So Danirai still needs to win with the Squirtle deck. It's going to be Squirtle only.
Yeah, and it now flips, so he's on blue coin with his Squirtle deck now. Should we take a quick look at what's left in those decks while we wait for the players?
Yeah.
Let's go. So, Danirai, only this Precision Strike list remaining. His opponent Gravesh has off the books, third time might be the charm, and Imperial Formation as well. I think he takes off the books here. I think he prefers this formation list on blue, and I think he knows it can win. The off the books list, I think he now takes it on red to try and be aggressive. I might be wrong, but I guess we'll find out together. Yeah,
but Gravesh needs to win with both, remember? Yeah. So it's more about which coin he's more comfortable on, right?
Yeah, it is indeed.
Yeah.
We are now just waiting for the players to click through an amazing series of Gwent so far. And obviously both of us play and stream Gwent plenty. You're already in my channel, but if you want to check out my better halves, make sure you follow it. You can do it in the stream right now and just click the top button. You stream Gwent on your Thursday stream, sometimes Fridays as well. And Mondays is reserved for some of the other games in our lives.
Yeah, and we're currently working on building one deck for each archetype. That's kind of what we're doing on my stream. In preparation of next year. Yes. And I like to have the library of everything possible. So if you're interested into that, that's what we're going to be doing in my stream now.
Definitely. We are here. And we are trying not to be obsessed with Baldur's Gate in this stream. And instead, we are deep into this qualifier. It is the lower bracket. Puzzle Express already qualified through in the upper bracket. He's at World Masters. Yeah. That's it. He's in. He's done. He's ready. Danirai, 2-0 up. Is he going to get reverse swept by the legend that is Gravesh?
2-1. Not 2-0
now.
anymore.
He started at 2-0. Now it's 2-1. Yeah. We have... Well, he's got 2 more shots, right? Just needs to get this Squirtle list through, Danirai, and he is there. He will have made it. Gravesh, on the other hand, 2 more cracks at the whip. He is going second now I really do expect to see that Syndicate list come down for him. He's lost with it twice already, and I think red coin now is the place for it.
Could be, yeah. Could be very difficult, after you've lost with the deck so many times. Now coming back with it, but hopefully it works out for Gravesh on red coin. Maybe, however, he will go for the Nilfgaard. We'll see.
He could do. I like the Nilfgaard list more on blue, just the Erendite and I think it has a stronger chance of winning and being able to fight its way out of the tempo that the Precision Strike list has. But we will find out. It's not long now. The players obviously have their time just to get themselves mentally ready or run to the bathroom to get a drink, whatever they need, to be able to clear this through.
I'm just checking the backup link to make sure that things are not weird. They're not.
Sounds great. Sounds great. And I now have a sudden craving for roast potatoes.
Amazing. That's
I can't wait to make some later. That's going to be delicious. I'm so hungry. But these players, you know what? They're not worried about that. They aren't worried about my stomach. They're worried about trying to get to World Masters.
And that I think that makes you focus on everything. Everything focus on Gwent. Food doesn't matter when you're trying to get to Gwent Masters. So
I don't think much does, honestly, and it's obviously the final official Gwent Masters as all things stand. These players both desperately want to make sure that they get to be a world champion, that they get to be a Gwent Master. Both of them have been at Masters competitions before. Yeah. Right?
True. Yeah. Each with a little different type of decks, I would say, or different play style, right?
Yes.
Well,
with
Danirai.
Gravesh used to be renowned for being aggressive. He used to be renowned for being super, if a card appeared, he'd delete it back in Movement Squirtle days. He didn't even think. Heat were gone. And it's a little different now.
Yeah, but Gravesh was also always bringing little different decks, while from what we've seen with Danirai, it tends to be more meta, more greedy versions, right?
It can be, very much can be. Well, let's see which way they went with it. Yeah, I'm not in just yet.
Well, we're on a new loading screen, that's what I mean.
We're on a brand new loading screen, and we're in, and...
Yes.
Do we have a bug, or is the client going to catch up with itself? Find out this time.
It's catching up.
I have no name. We're in. We're fine. And he does take the Syndicate deck. So let's play the fun game of how many bricks are there in the hand for Squirtle.
So far, so good.
Oh, it's perfect. Just the right amount, too. With access to Vanadane. On the other side, lots of poisons and some pretty powerful gold cards sat up for Gravesh. Has the potential to swarm well as well. We saw the reach that he might have in that last series that he brought it, where he was within 3 points of beating the Nilfgaard deck with this.
That was a very quick sweep there, but okay. So Danirai has to decide between Vanadane and Scenario, right?
Yes.
But Nelly can also bring Vanadane.
Yes, it can, but it's then a lot to give in that round one from blue. Well, we need to find out what he's going to have. He's going to show us immediately. It is the Vanadane, and he's going to get rid of those 2 bricks so that he's sat there, ready to go. Does kind of show you that he doesn't have access to the scenario and Neroing for that turn 1. Now, from Gravesh's side, he could just stay on interactive, drop a poison on it and go, okay, no problem. I will just give you nothing to target, nothing to do, and make life a little bit awkward for you. He has got the access to do that, and not too much goes that tall in this list, really.
True. Yeah. Okay, so Danirai hasn't passed yet, which I'm slightly confused. Yeah, he has. I had a visual back then on my side.
That's okay, you're back, don't worry.
Yeah. I was looking at the still screen for a second. I was like, okay.
What's he doing? Okay. He's going far more aggressive here. He's going to use that Marilsi turn 1 tribute and crush. He said he's not taking the slower route. He's going to go full and aggressive here for Gravesh. 3 leader charges to make that a possibility turn 1.
maybe
Okay.
Gravesh heard us. I was like, I will prove you
Yeah.
that I am still as aggressive as I used to be. This death, no prisoners, you know?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm
Just
surprised. It's
die.
Gravesh, right? Like, why am I surprised by this? Yeah, instead he goes down that line. It's a lot of leader abilities to give, but I think he's made the decision that strength here is going to really matter for him in terms of being able to get out of this. He might have to be a bit more aggressive. Is he going to go for the backup plan here?
I'm a bit confused if we're going for the bomb, yeah?
Okay.
Just spinning a little bit.
And that makes good sense, honestly.
Everything's uninteractive now. It's just, nothing's on the board, right?
Yeah, no cards for you, or you. It appears to be the way it's going to work here. And now Gravesh drops down an engine that will inevitably disappear off the face of the earth in about 2 seconds from a waylay, as we will continue through the process. Winning this round makes a big difference for these players. When you're facing a Scoia'tael list and it has Simless, you want to be able to push that Simless out or answer the points it generated in one big go at the end if you have that ability. So I'm not too surprised to see like a pressing play from Gravesh to try and take hold of this. Doesn't need to win on even, but I think every opportunity he gets to stay ahead, he's going to be very willing to.
We have a nice empty card in the middle.
Yeah, well, that is what it is. It's just another one of the tokens, the same as the one to the side of it. It's just in stealth mode.
Okay, I was just checking. Yes, that's what it is. And it's back now as well. We're seeing the backup plan come down. Okay, good. Okay. So,
Gravesh here has a couple of choices. If he plays the Shady Vendor now, it's a little awkward because he probably over profits. The tribute gives him all of his coins back, so any of the crimes he finds probably push him a bit over the edge. Instead, I like this. He's giving himself another spender to moderate where his coin spend's going to be by that point. Ooh, and he spends a long way down.
Nice.
Okay. Doesn't get the double value, unfortunately, though. Didn't spend to 0. Awkward coin number. It's a great card, but only if you're evens.
Yeah, but equally, it's good for Gravesh because the previous spenders seem to disappear super quickly. So having this one down and being able to spend is good, right?
Very much so.
What could Danirai do here? Place another waylay because we need 2 waylays in the graveyard, and having no scenario, that means you have to play them out of hand, right?
Yeah, very much so. Not ideal. As we see the leader drop down once again, Syndicate has no spender, Syndicate struggles, and that appears to be where we are. I think Gravesh may have spent a little bit too aggressively there, because now he's in a spot where he can't necessarily catch up the way he wants, couldn't spend to protect, and can't trigger his Shady Vendor now, unless he uses his final leader charge and only plays it on the front row. Something he might be willing to do, but it is nonetheless his only option there, other than playing slowly. His poisons are looking very underwhelming now. Doesn't have a good target for them.
Yeah, unless he targets the Dryads, the stratagem elves can always flip it and get rid of the poison, correct?
Completely right. Yeah, instead he just drops this down for the 6. Looks pretty good.
Sense. But that means Danirai is still ahead. He could just drop the Vial of Forbidden Knowledge as non-committal, right?
Yeah, it's perfectly reasonable. It doesn't even bother clicking it. It says, I'm still ahead.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Catch me if you can.
I'm not going to give you a poison target, so...
Come on.
Click it.
Show me what you got.
Come on. Now is the big moment, because I think for Gravesh here, it's a difficult spot. He may have to leader and play the front row version of Shady Vendor, try and fish for yet another spender. The risk is, of course, from the hand we can see, it does get deleted by Danirai. He is on red coin. He could just go, look, I'm out of here. But that's really risky, as we've seen, against this.
Yeah. So while we see the Shady Vendor coming down, let's see what it brings.
Nothing too impressive.
Nothing too great. And again, more money. We don't really need money at this moment, right?
Instead, he takes as many points as he can. He's got some carryover. The difficulty is, as you say, he has no spenders. Curse of Corruption drops down now.
Oh, okay. Are we using the vial? Are we potentially flipping one of the elves?
Maybe. I don't think he needs to
We
again.
don't
He's
need
willing to
yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's okay, but I can see Gravesh fiercely hovering over St. Gregory right now with a passion and intensity. He is there as if he is ready instantly to try and do this. This could be interesting. Is it just that his mouse is hovering there, or is he ready to really go in on this?
Yeah,
Also,
and Danirai ends up doing both, clicking the vial and flipping one of the elves, getting as many points as possible, right? Okay, so that gives Gravesh a poison target, but it's not enough on its own, because the fist deck is essentially 0 right now. It gives the poison, but since you don't have any way to spend, you're over-profiting and not getting any points, so you can't do that.
And even in 2 turns, it's not enough, because he needs already at least the 8, the 9, sorry, to get ahead, and the poisons without spending.
Was it Gregory we just clicked? No, it's Siggy.
He's saying, you know what? Here we are. This is still no spender available to him of use. So he just takes the bronzes, gets his spender from the tributes though, needs to be quick.
Yeah.
Needs to be super quick.
Oh my, let's go. Did we manage to click? We did.
We did, and now he gets the win on even. It's a huge card to commit, but he will be very, very happy all of a sudden with the spot that he's in. Is it too much? He only committed 2 bronzes, so if he can draw well now, maybe he's okay. So does get the win on even.
Gravesh won, but Danirai, Straw, Olisa, and no Waylays, which is amazing because that allows him to set up the Simlas, right? Mulligan score and gets the Simlas.
I think he's expecting to have to play every card here, so he wants something left. The fact that he draws into that Simlas, he is going to be very happy. And for Gravesh here, you know, he won on even. The ability to push and try and get things like the Simlas out are going to be pretty important for him, I think. As we see no shock as Alyssa dropping down to put... Oh, wait, no, okay.
Hey, no, that was not Alyssa.
Okay, he's gone for the scenario early doors.
I was choosing something, but it was the scenario. Yeah.
It was, and he gave the Aneromancy to get it. Doing that tells me, if I'm playing against someone like that, you have the other things. You believe you have a hand that I cannot beat in this round, which means you must have the Simlas, you must have the Telianine, that means you must have, potentially, the Alyssa as well. That's 3 of your cards that I think must exist.
I'm just thinking, if I oh well, never mind. I didn't even manage to finish my thinking process because we're out of here. I was wondering if if Danirai actually gets the gourd now.
Well, he may not. He may never see that gourd as a result.
We didn't manage to thin with Simlas and Telly.
No. And your mulligans are really dangerous. Takes every one of them, and he does not find gourd. The pass was really smart from Gravesh, because he knows now he gets double last say, so no matter how many points are put on the board, he can save 2 of his really big pieces of the puzzle. He also is running Junior, which just eats dead eyes for breakfast, so he's not in the worst spot in the world here.
Yeah. And meanwhile, it's not... Danirai is in quite an awkward spot, right?
Yes, very much so. Is this going to end up being a Junior and kill, or is he going to take it slowly? Of course he's not.
No. It's Gravesh. You know, you just called him out on not being Gravesh enough, you know?
That's
and now we're...
Yeah, I'll take that, honestly. And of course, it does get removed. So that it isn't there. Yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense.
And this is just for pure profit right now. He's just playing that for value.
We could now see, you know, basically very slow play from Danirai, playing the Squirrel as well, and setting up everything, right?
Yeah, quite possibly. Oh, now the potential for the bounty here could be worth it, because again, it's more coins that you're going to be able to push through a little bit later on. The potential is there for that. It's great coin value. He has poison removal. That's kind of worth it, right?
Yeah, it is. Okay, so meanwhile, Danirai plays Alisa and Squirrel in whatever order, really, and gets ready to spawn up all the waylays at once, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
So, so Gregory and Jacques being the finishers for Gravesh is looking really good.
I think he's going to be pretty happy with the spot he's going to be in, especially with seeing how many points that Gregory can play for. He hasn't got that board issue this time around.
No.
Is it going to be enough? 4 Waylay Simless. I believe. No, it's 5 Waylay Simless.
No,
just the 4.
It's 4.
Just the 4.
It's 4.
Yeah, just 4 Waylays on the Simless. He is going for as much value as possible. There will be nothing on the board when you get there. The Heat Wave as well. That's the big problem for Danirai. 2 amazing cards, but they kind of defeat each other. It's really easy right now for Gravesh to just drop the poison. Not the unit. Again, reducing those limits. I think he's potentially going to take this to a game 5 here.
Yeah. Because Gravesh can stay without adding any extra units, just like you said. Then Danirai can play the Simless and then keep the Heat Wave for the very last play, but it will just not have targets.
And that's the problem. He's not going to get those targets.
Yeah.
And right now, I think Gravesh is just doing the maths on what he could have, effectively.
Yes.
He's taking his time. He's working it out. For me, it wouldn't be the unit poison. It would be the special poison onto the bountied unit is what I'd be looking for here. It's not what he does, though, and he self-poisons for extra coins. That's very curious.
So we're seeing the Heat Wave. Just keeping our options open for Simless later, okay?
Yeah. Interesting. So he's decided the value of the coins from the poison are worth more than the removal of this card. The removal of the card, it's 4 plus... unless I'm missing a way that he's got extra access to the poison, I think... Perhaps he's just thinking it over profits every which way I do it, if I kill it early.
So maybe it's dropping dropping Jacques an option here, but then you're just giving just giving targets to Simless, right?
It's always the poison for me. It does put you in an over profiting. Yeah,
you just
I don't want to give it, right?
Time.
I don't think he needs to worry about that. I think over profiting is fine, honestly.
No, we are spending.
Oh boy.
We're spending on Jacques, yes.
And he's just...
Okay.
So that's just going to get removed.
Well, now we see the Simless coming down. And probably spending everything on Jacques, yeah, makes sense. And then we have 1 pew with the elf. But Gregory is simply enough. Isn't it here?
I don't know, because...
We have 4...
It probably is.
Yeah. Wait, let's see. So we have 4 coins from the poison. That does nothing else. Wait.
Oh, so close. Because you have to kill... You have to... Oh. Okay. Woo! Gravesh out here causing heart attacks. And all of a sudden, this reverse sweep is looking like a real risk. I thought he wasn't going to click it the extra time. Obviously, Gregory is most value when it destroys itself. He is a martyr after all. Oh boy.
Okay.
And it is now game 5. 2-2. The reverse sweep is on. And this is looking like an uphill battle because Gravesh has Meta Nilfgaard soldiers.
Oh god, yeah.
That's with Erudite Heatwave and the coin of his choice. So let's take a quick look at the deck list that Gravesh is running.
Yeah. So Gravesh is bringing the Nilfgaard.
It is Nilfgaard Imperial Formation. That's the list he's going to have. Danirai.
And Danirai with Square Tail, correct?
Yeah,
Again.
the Precision Strike list. He is bringing it through. Well, it was third time the charm for Gravesh with Syndicate. Danirai will be very much hoping it is the same for him as we go with his Square Tail list. It is going to be close here. We're going in. The game is up. The game is live. No guesswork.
Let's go.
It's 2-2. Who's going to Masters?
So we had the prediction in the beginning, right?
We did.
So in the chat, you can tell us who, if if we have some fans, we can get some cheers for the last game. Unless this is a tie, we haven't gotten a tie yet.
Oh no! Why would you say it? Oh no!
Show us your support. Is it gonna be Danirai? Is it gonna be Gravesh? It matters. This is the final game. This decides it all.
It does indeed. As we see the mulligans coming through, it is not so bad for Danirai up on red. He has the Aniro, so he can access and shift not enough bricks, almost you would say, for Danirai.
Yeah.
He's looking for Vanadane. I hate to see Traherne drop into the hand here. However, and I get the horrible feeling that this might be decisive. I've got a horrible feeling. Is he going to open with it? Or is he going to open up with something like a Calvate because he knows there isn't the same threat the other way around? This...
Gravesh,
I know Mayamon was playing in Northern Realms Military list and ended up losing Military earlier, which, if
this is Simlas...
Oh, okay, so he hasn't clicked it. But here's the thing, there's no way of him shuffling it into his hand here, right? And Nero can play it, not shuffle it. But if Traherne, not having it in hand against this Nilfgaard list, will have Danirai nervous here.
Yeah. Okay,
Very
so
nervous.
We're going with the Oneiromancy and probably getting the scenario again. Danirai really likes to just start with that, getting the extra Vele in the graveyard. Makes sense.
I can see the logic.
Yeah, I can see that. We could, as we've seen before, Telekin then bring the Vanadane, right?
And the answer is there because he starts with the Calvate. He knows he has that heat wave at his beck and call.
Wow.
Well, there it is and it's gone.
So we're now just seeing backup plans with not the greatest options, let's be honest. That's not really what you're looking for.
It's not.
Elf-wise. But
is it going to be engine setup now, or is Gravesh going to start teasing that Traherne? He hasn't dropped it yet. It's almost like he doesn't want that to be the reason that he wins this series.
I can feel that, you know.
Because at the moment he doesn't have to, bear in mind. Danarai's never passing on 8 cards, because that doesn't make any sense. So he knows he can wait just a little bit longer. See another backup plan come down. Removing these engines is going to be crucial. He can do it with one more leader charge, and I don't doubt that he will. Makes a lot of sense. Now is the moment I'd play the Traherne.
Yeah, we're also still keeping the Vernocell commander ticking, you know, with only elves on the board, which is pretty nice for Danirai as well. Those points can kind of stack up in a long round. Okay, so what are we gonna see? Gravesh, don't keep us all waiting. We can't take this anymore. Come on.
It's scary. This is the turn to do it. If he's going to do it, this is the turn to do it. Waiting any longer can be difficult, right? And there are multiple cards that could cause issues. If he sees Vanadane, that's 2 Waylays gone. That's a massive hit. Simlas, huge amount. No Alyssa in hand. But instead, he takes the engine route, just stays ahead.
Gravesh is playing the mind games of maybe I don't have the mill card in hand. You're safe.
if I'm Danirai, I'm probably out of here right now, and I'm going, you know what? Go. He hasn't played it. I get another chance at getting this stuff in hand. I know I want to win the round, but get me out of here.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Come on, Danirai. What are we doing here? Again, but Squirrel here can have amazing value for the first time in the series, right? Erendite could be a nice target for Squirrel.
Very much so. And you can see the other thought on Gravesh's mind probably is, I need to keep tempoing ahead because it's so important for me to do that with my Erendite.
Makes sense, yeah.
I've just got a pit of fear in my stomach waiting for that horror of a card to drop
I
onto the
get
board.
it.
You know, like, I can just feel it.
It's like a ball of anxiety in your stomach. Oh, here it is.
Oh, Lord, and it's the Vanadane going, surely. Yeah. So it's not as bad as it could have been, but it's certainly not great. Simlas is now a 2 waylay boy. Just
'cause
the 2.
we didn't get scenario waylay. So Alisa, unless Alisa is bringing back backup plans for some reason, so we would play them, she's useless. Ah, well, Mill, that's what Mill does.
It
Ruins the
is.
fun.
It's, yeah, pretty much. But and this is the game. This is the series decider here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is. Vanadane's gone, so no access to extra waylays for Danirai, and we've talked about this before. At least it happened early on, so Danirai can now change how he plays the rest of the game.
Very much so. And for Danirai now, his hand's not the best. The situation that he's in is awkward. He would like to be able to at least press an advantage and get ahead here, win this round potentially. And that's what he's going to do. Now he's going to say, okay, you know, I can't use it. Let's win this on even then. Let's actually get rid of your engine and put you in a very uncomfortable situation. Because all of a sudden, I'm ahead by 12, 13, 14 points.
Yes.
Erendite's not looking great. No engines on board. And Gravesh went from very happy to, okay, I just unlocked your trap card, effectively.
But then, look, Danirai. What is Danirai doing for the rest of the rounds? Because Alice has gone, Simla's gone, Backup's gone.
Well, that's a separate conversation, and that's why Danirai desperately needs to win this on even, I think.
You know? Because I'm not sure how we're now getting any points, apart from Gord. And the little bit of leader we have left.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Gravesh working out if it's worth dropping his battle stations, getting the 2 engines down. If he clicks them in the right order, he's fine. It's a lot of value. It just about gets him ahead. Instead, he takes the pass here and says, I would rather live to fight another day, fighting into 2 points a turn with no current engine, 12 points down. Respect it, but the problem remains, what does Danirai have left to give?
I think Danirai can push here on even, just play whatever he has, because pushing Nilfgaard that has played Calvate's always good, right? And then hope that your short round 3 with Gord is good. I think that's realistically what Danirai has to do here.
That's his only option. I'm not sure it's going to work, but it is definitely what I would be doing in that spot. The Erendite's always vanishing to a squirrel, and I think Gravesh is very aware of that. So he's probably going to try and not commit it at all and just get one massive set of value out of it.
And at least, could be. Could be keeping it for later, because playing it now just means it's not there for round 3. Vilgefort cannot break Gord, at least, now.
No, it can break the leader, though. Which is less value, of course, but it's all relevant tempo that Danirai is going to really be looking to get in that short round 3 that he's fishing for right now.
Ramon has a target, I think. For a second, I didn't see the other guy, so that's alright.
Here we go.
Here we go.
And moving up, whatever you like to the top, it doesn't really matter, because of course you've already calvated, which is why this engine works so efficiently. But I don't think that's going to survive very long. I think it might be delete waved out of existence, possibly by Danirai.
Curse of corruption.
True,
could be enough.
Could curse, yeah.
Could, unless you want to keep the Onaramancy, but yeah. So we'll see. Because let's be honest, Danirai really struggles here, right?
Yeah, I think he wants. I guess his play is just to commit as little as possible, realistically speaking. You want on even, get as much value for as little benefit, right? Like, don't give them what they need. The squirrel is useful. He can just take his time here. Doesn't need to go crazy. Love the artifact. Just slowly. It's no problem. Doesn't even need to commit it especially, and he can just play.
But meanwhile, Gravesh is committing each turn he stays in, right? Because it's things that good things that he has to play now.
Yeah, becoming gradually more and more commitment, albeit he still has more left, I would say. If they both played out their entire hands, I think Gravesh would have enough left as well. A little surprised to see that because it's just opened up the squirrel here. But it's also super slow. You know you're going to do it effectively, especially having one on even. Squirrel comes and goes. I guess he's just accounting for it and saying, look, I'll get the value while I can get it. There's a unit on the board. There might not always be. Interesting choice.
Yeah, and Danirai is more than happy to now say, okay, I've got the big card that I was worried about. Now, I can leave if I have to, right?
Yes, yeah, it's certainly an option. That being gone, I think he needs to play a lot further if he's going to have a chance. I think he wants to play himself down probably to Gord.
But again, with what? Like
he only needs to threaten reach. Between leader and Gord, he has the threat of a decent amount, albeit the Gord I think is only +6 right now.
6 or 7, yeah. And leader doesn't have a good target now.
No. The reach is rough. The reach is difficult and getting scarier each passing turn for Danirai, but Heatwave on a 13 all of a sudden brings you right back into it. Has got that unclicked artifact on the board as well.
Or again, the Course of Corruption sitting in the deck. That could also be the option. But yeah, instead we go for Bleed.
Well, there's nothing left for him to fish for in deck, realistically, right? That Curse of Corruption should always find value, but the fact that he's not clicking this is interesting. The vial's not being clicked. I guess it's because he knows the Vilgefortz is there, and he doesn't want to tempt the Vilgefortz. But
so the bleed on the 7 makes sense because that's the only way to potentially get leader value if we're going all the way down. But what is Gravesh doing here?
He's currently weighing up his choices because he doesn't really want to give. Yeah, so he's basically now saying, Ramon, I'm not going to need you. I'm going to play this in such a way that I don't need Ramon. He's not something I'm worried about. I have so many points here that they cannot catch me. So he's sitting on 2 bricks in hand right now. 2 bricks.
And we're doing the
brave. Because this could end up backfiring.
Yeah.
This could end up being a 2-0 the other way around if he's just given himself 2 bricked cards.
Yeah, because suddenly Danirai had a good target for leader and the Heatwave can still access the Curse of Corruption and the other flanking unit is still the highest one on board, right?
Yeah, it is.
So it is suddenly looking much better for Danirai. Okay, so Vilgefortz, Vilgefortz doesn't have a good target for Danirai, right? Like the...
No.
Oh, here comes the brick.
So now you Curse of Corruption. If I'm Danirai, I Curse of Corruption now all day long because he can potentially call the bluff here.
Yes. No.
Puts the Heatwave back again, maybe.
Or probably we don't know.
Yeah, puts the Heatwave back. Okay.
No. Well, it was the Heatwave. Yeah. Okay, Heatwave is back. Vilgefortz bringing this bronze. That's all right. Gord is
Gord's
enough.
+7. Gord's 10 points. But the leader charges for Gravesh do get him out here.
Yep.
This is gonna be...
So yeah, I think keeping Gord is important.
Yeah, I think so too.
But it's Gravesh's turn, so we'll see if Gravesh... if I was Gravesh, I do not hero pass here.
Gravesh has already played the card, so he can just... He's
true.
a leader charge. I'm not sure why he's... Is he trying to do the maths on Gord?
Maybe?
He's trying to force not playing the 0-point card out. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's saying, I now have more points than you can possibly have. I
Gold
will not lose.
signer.
Because this can
Yeah.
potentially win for him, right? But that is a masterful bleed from Danirai. Great
That
hand
is,
read. But for Gravesh, we knew what was in his hand because he played Calvate. So you start, like, the pieces start adding up and you think, hang on. Was that right?
So we now, so Danirai now has access to Heatwave and Curse of
Heatwave
Corruption.
and Curse, yeah.
Because I don't think there are many other units for him left. Yeah. And the Slave is good for Gravesh. The Lock might as well if we see the Elf come down. Yeah. So let's see what we get. We see the Battle Station.
It's not terrible, I'll be honest.
It's not. It's not.
Obviously, there are points that are all going to get burnt away from you. You're going to lose 1 to Curse of Corruption, 1 to Heatwave, but that means you're 3 points up and you've traded massively there. The question is going to come, has he got enough in that gourd? Is he...
Yeah. So,
This is...
that locks, that's fine.
Curse of Corruption drops. I don't know if Gravesh even has any specials left in his deck. He doesn't have any specials in the bronzes unless there's a Diplo. There could be a 4p Diplo.
There could be, yeah.
If there's a 4-point Diplo...
and he chooses to play it, well then, does Danirai have Epidemics in a deck? So that could still be points for Danirai. If Gravesh decides to return the Arcane Tome.
This is so close. The gourd is only worth maybe 10 or 11.
10.
So it's worth maybe more than that, slightly more now. It was on 7, 8, 9. So maybe gourd's worth 12, puts him at 16. The Heatwave -7. This is close. Very, very close here.
So we see, of course, this comes down as a Heatwave.
And we see he plays it as the Epidemic instead to get rid of that unit. Now he knows if he gives it back, it's a Heatwave. That's trying to say to him,
Oh, wow.
That's a really interesting choice, because now if he clicks it, he knows it's -7, so any card has to be more than the 7. However...
But gourd is never enough here.
Gourd needs to be more points than he can possibly be.
Gourd can never be more than that, because he is only 13. Wow. So Gravesh takes it.
Gravesh is our winner. Oh my word.
Gravesh and Masters, yes indeed. So the first weekend of Masters, Gravesh and Puzzle Express have now secured their places in there. Wow.